we are starting with the chapter probability. Okay. So I think there was a problem with this chapter. Problem in the sense people have not practiced a lot. Or you will have to revise this. Quick revision. Okay. So let's term the some important terms and concepts. Okay. So first is random experiment. Okay, I'm not writing the definitions and all, but you should understand what is random experiment, or we call it as trial. So what is random experiment? Example, I toss a coin. That is example here. That is an experiment. What I'm doing, tossing a coin, or I can say throwing a dice. So this is what a random experiment, correct? Second is sample space. So sample space means what? Sample space means all set of all the possible outcomes is the definition. Set of all possible outcomes. So when I toss a coin, what will be the sample space? H comma T. This is my sample space. If I am tossing one coin, if I toss two coins, then what can be the sample space? Two coins. Now if you remember, two coins, two outcomes are there, and there are two coins, 2 raised to n. 2 is the outcome in the base and 2 raised to n. So there will be 4 outcomes, correct? I said you how to write this. I gave you the trick. This whatever answer you get, you should divide it by 2. That means 2 times head, 2 times tail you will write. Again, this was 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 1 time head, 1 time tail, 1 time head, 1 time tail. What I did, my total outcome is 4. Okay, that will be divided by 2. Okay, I will divide it by 2 every time. So I will write 2 times head, 2 times tail. Then again this 2 is divided by 2. So 1 time means make it half. 1 time 1 head, 1 tail, 1 head, 1 tail. So this is my sample space. Okay, same way you can do for 3 also. 3 if there is a 3 coins tossed. If it is 3 coins, then what we do? Outcome is 2 raised to 3. 3 coins, 2 outcome, head or tail. Okay, so the total sample space is 8. 8 divided by 2 means is equals to 4. This time you will write 4 times head and then 4 times tail. So my total outcome is how much? Our total sample space is 8. Then 4 divided by 2, 2 times head, 2 times tail, 2 times head, 2 times tail. 2 ka half is 1. So 1 time head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail. Okay, so this is what? This is your sample space. So when I toss a coin, 3 coins, my sample space, number of sample space is how much? 8. Understood? Fine. Then event. Event means what? Now this event is subset of the sample space. Okay, event is what? Subset of the sample space. Okay, whatever is the outcome means event of getting a head when you toss a coin is an event. How many, what is the chance, okay, of happening that event, getting a head or getting a tail? Okay, whatever you are expecting not to happen, that is an event. Okay, so this can be into 2 types, just for the sake of knowledge. I don't think they have discussed this, but this can be simple or event can be compound. Simple event means what? Only one thing happening. Compound event means what? 2 things happening. Means for example, if I want to say example of compound event, it is like if I throw the dice, 2 dice together, then what can be the outcome? 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, like this we write now. How many? 36 outcomes we write, right? Like this we can write 36 outcomes, correct? 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, same way 2 1, 2 2, 2 3. So that is known as compound event. Compound means 2 things happening simultaneously. Okay, next, mutually exclusive means what? Mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. If someone is thinking that I know all these things, then you should obviously fast forward the video. Okay, you can watch it at 1.5 or 1.25 times. Okay, mutually exclusive means what? It means that the 2 things cannot happen together. Those events which can't happen together is known as mutually exclusive. When I toss a coin, either it will be head or it will be tail. This is what means. These 2 events are what? Mutually exclusive event. Mutually exclusive event. Getting a head is an event, getting a tail is an event. when two events can't happen together, it is mutually exclusive event. Equally likely event, what I said, equally likely event, equally likely event means what? Means same example, head and tail. What is the chance of happening? Equal. So there is 50% chance that head can come, 50% chance that tail can come. So it's a equally likely event. Same way with the dice. If I throw a dice, what is the chance of the upper face being 1? 1 by 6. Upper face being 2, 1 by 6. So equally likely events. Okay, like that. Collectively exhaustive means collectively exhaustive. Whenever these words comes now, people get confused. Collectively exhaustive means whatever is the sample space is given now, that whatever the outcomes are given, events, those itself, if those events, let's say chance of coming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is what collectively, all these events collectively are exhaustive. Exhaustive means other than this nothing will come when you throw a dice. When you throw a dice, either it will be 1, 2, getting and 1 is an event. So collectively exhaustive events. Exhaustive means everything has come which should be there in the sample space. When I throw a dice, what is the sample space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See here, collectively exhaustive. Okay. So if you take something and if that set has all the elements of the sample space, it is called collectively exhaustive event. Okay. Independent event and dependent event. Independent and dependent. What do you mean by independent and dependent? When two events now, they are independent, they are not related to each other, at that time I say those are independent event. Okay. If in case I say that let A be the event of getting a head, let B the event of getting a tail, so these are what? Independent events, correct? If I want, I can take one more example. Okay, independent events, they are not dependent. Okay, but if I tell you like this, what is the probability of getting a head given that tail has already occurred, means in the first go tail has already happened, then what is the chance of happening head, means what is the chance of getting head on the coin? Then it is called dependent event, A by B. What is this A by B? Means B has already happened and you are finding the chance probability of getting A. Okay, like this. One more example I'll give you. If let's say I have a card, so it's a well shuffled cards, okay, and I draw a card, okay, and I draw a card. Now if I draw the first card, okay, and then I draw the second card, understood, again draw the second card, so you understand how I repeat, from the pack of cards I removed first card, okay, I replaced it, okay, or let's say if I have not replaced it and then I take the second card, then this first event, okay, this first event is independent, but this second event is dependent on what? On this first event. What you get, if I don't replace, that becomes a dependent event, because here to what you have got, what you removed, you have not replaced it. Okay, if you replace it, it is independent, but if you don't replace it, then this event, second event, is dependent on what? On the first event, what you have got. So first card is not replaced, therefore the second card which you will get on the second draw is dependent on the first one. Okay. So how we get the probabilities? Probability very simple, like whatever is the number of event happening, that is, let's say I throw a dice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, correct? So then I ask you, what is the chance of happening, what is the chance of getting 5 when you throw a dice? It is 1. Okay, what is the number of sample space total? It is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have counted it. So probability of getting 5 is what? N of A upon N of S is equals to 1 by 6. This is how we get. Okay. So this is the basics of the probability. Fine. One more way, one more thing, there people have a problem. Odd in favor and odd against. Okay, so if let's say my total probability is M, favor is MA, then against is M minus MA. Please remember this, easy way. So odd in favor is what you know, odd in favor. Odd in favor is equals to MA, that is favor upon against, the ratio of that. Odd against is what? M minus MA, reciprocal of the above, MA, that is against upon favorable is odd against. Odd in favor is what? Favorable upon against. Okay, so like this. Fine. Let's say if two things are independent, if two events are independent, two events are independent events, two events are independent, then that means happening of one does not affect the happening of second event, right? They are independent events. Then what is the condition? First condition, probability of A intersection B is equals to probability of A multiplied by probability of B, correct? Probability of B intersection C is equals to nothing but probability of B multiplied by probability of C. Understood? Like this. Probability of A intersection C is equals to probability of A into probability of C. Understood? Like this. So probability of A intersection B intersection C will be what? Probability of A into probability of B into probability of C. I did it 3 times. Why? To get fixed in your mind. If it is independent, then this is the formula, right? If two events are independent, okay, I can call it as inferences. If two means inference of this, two events are independent, then what I can say? Then A and B complement is also what? Independent. Okay, these two are also what? Independent. Let me not put intersection sign. A and B dash is also what? Independent. A dash and B is also what? Independent. There can be MCQ on this. Okay, even A dash and B dash is what? All are independent. That means in short, all are independent. If two events are independent, their complements, okay, are also what? Independent events. There are some axiomatic definition, or what I should say, there is some simple things, okay, which you need to understand. Here, this now whatever is, whenever I am calculating probability, this should be greater than, means A should be greater than or equals to 0. Sorry, not 0. Yeah, equals to 0. It can't be, means it can't be in minus. That is what they are saying. Okay, it should be greater than or equals to 0. Fine. And this probability of sample space now happening of all the events, the total should be what? 1. That means summation of P should be what? 1. Summation of probability should be 1. Fine. So what does this imply? That probability of A will always be, probability of A will always be greater than or equals to 0. Probability should be greater than, it's positive, or it should be less than or equals to 1. If it is not the case, then it means there is some problem. Okay, probability of A is equals to 0 means what? If A is 0, probability of A is 0, it is impossible event, it can't happen. Impossible. Probability of A, any probability if you calculate and it is 0, it is impossible event, correct? And if probability of A is equals to 1, that means 100%, it's a certain event. Certain event. We have done all this. Okay. Now coming back. Probability of A union B is equals to probability of A plus probability of B if they are mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. But if they are not mutually exclusive means what? They can happen together. Mutually exclusive means what? They cannot happen together, right? Mutually exclusive, they cannot happen together. Then this is the formula. If they can happen together, then probability of A union B is equals to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. You should minus what? The probability of the two things happening together. Okay, so this means what? Or. This means what? And. Correct? Right? So we used to remember like this. This is or, na? Like this. This is or. This is what? And. Okay, this is and. Fine. Okay, next, yeah, if let's say probability of A union B union C, okay, is there, and they are not three things, and they are mutually exclusive. They are what? Mutually exclusive. Then probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C, as simple as that. But if they are not mutually exclusive, then what will be the formula? Probability of A plus probability of B, they are not mutually exclusive. Then probability of B plus probability of C, means they can happen together. Okay, then what I will do? Minus probability of A intersection B minus probability of B intersection C minus probability of A intersection C. I will minus all the two intersections and I will add what? Probability of all the intersections, A intersection B intersection C. This is the formula. Understood? You should remember this. Fine. This is for what? Not mutually exclusive, like we did now here. This is what? Not mutually exclusive, where the intersection is there. Okay, here also same, not mutually exclusive, not mutually exclusive, not mutually exclusive, not mutually exclusive. Okay, coming back, conditional probabilities. Probability of B intersection B, given that A has already happened. This is conditional, we already discussed. Conditional means what? Now B is dependent on A, B has already happened. This is conditional probability, correct? So what I will say, this is equals to probability of B intersection A upon whatever is the denominator, you will put it here. Is it clear? Or here I can also say A intersection B. B intersection A and A intersection B is one and the same. B intersection A and A intersection B is one and the same, but the denominator will be A. Other way around, if let's say A given that B is there, then probability of A intersection B in the denominator will be what? Whatever is in the base. Okay, probability of B. Fine. So this is the conditional probability. This is what? Conditional probability. Other way around to write, if I want, I can make n number of formulas. I want A intersection B and some conditional relation is given. If I multiply this conditional probability with probability of A, then I will get what? Intersection. You should remember this. Okay, you should remember this. Now let's say if there are three events are there, A, B, C. Okay, so jointly probability of A intersection B intersection C, this formula you should remember. A intersection B intersection C. Okay, if the joint probability I want and conditional probabilities are given, then listen, probability of A multiplied by probability of B given that A into probability of C given that A intersection B will be the formula. See this, I want A intersection B intersection C. Okay, in case if I have not seen in the paper, but probability of A into probability of B given that A, okay, into probability of C given that A intersection B. Understood? A intersection B means this is in the denominator. Okay, this is in the denominator both. So let me write it nicely. Let me put a square bracket here. A intersection B, I said, right? Yeah, because C is in the numerator means that you have to. Okay, this will be the formula. Fine. Or other way around, one more formula I can make. If let's say if I want the same intersection, if I take probability of B here now, then think what should be the first formula? There it was A. So when you multiply, the A is in the denominator. So probability of A given that B has already occurred into probability of, here it will be same, C given that A intersection B. This is the formula. Okay, fine. Let's say expected value. When I say expected value, that means what? When I say expected value, that means x multiplied by probability. X multiplied by probability gives me mean. Gives me what? Mean. That is called as summation of x multiplied by probability, and then I take the total. This is nothing but mean. So generally we call it mu, or here what we call is expected value of x, e of x. Wherever there is e, that means that the thing which is inside the bracket is multiplied with probability, and you have taken the summation. You have multiplied the x with the probability and you have taken the summation. Okay, that is the meaning of this. So in case if this is the formula, wherever the probability is given and x is given, if this is the formula to get the mean, then what is the formula to get the standard deviation? Standard deviation is equals to under root, I am writing e means expected value of x minus mu the whole square. Understood? I am not writing anything different. Okay, when I write expected value of x minus mu means what? X minus x square, x minus x bar the whole square. Okay, and that has been multiplied with what? Probability. If you remember, frequency, probability, proportion, weight, everything means what? Same. Standard deviation formula was x minus x bar the whole square upon n, and this is summation, and here it was under root. Okay, this was the formula. This was the formula, if you remember, correct, for standard deviation. Whenever there was frequency, if you remember the second chapter, what I said, you have to put here f means x minus x bar the whole square. Okay, and then you have to multiply by f, frequency, x minus x bar, that you calculate, take the square, then you multiply with what? F, and then you take the total. Okay, so that many columns you will have to make, and here in the base it will be summation of f whenever there is a frequency, correct. Now here what happened, frequency is equals to probability, I said, so that means f will be is equals to replaced by what? By probability. So I will put here probability. Summation of p is what? Sum of p. Just now we saw the condition is what? Summation of p is 1. Summation of p is 1. So this also I'll remove, correct now. But if you remember, I said whatever is multiplied with p and the summation is taken, that is known as what? E. So instead of this part now, I will write what? E of x minus mu the whole square. So whenever there is e, that means this part whatever is there is multiplied with probability, and then you have taken the summation, you have taken the total of that, that's it. Okay, otherwise the formula is same. So obviously here also the things remain the same. Mu, that is mean, gets affected by change in origin as well as change in scale. Origin as well as scale. Origin as well as scale. Here this is standard deviation, so it only will get affected by scale. Okay, remember this. I'm not giving formulas for that. Okay. Anyways, properties is what? Understand. If I calculate the expected value of k, it will be nothing but k, means x is 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, and 5, 5, and if I have the probability, if I try to calculate, if I have the probability also now, and if I try to calculate the mean, it will be what? K. Understood? It will be k, means same number. So don't get confused. If I have all the values as 5 and the probabilities, I'll get ultimately same. Okay, the answer is 5 only. So ultimately the value will be 5, that is what I was saying. If at all you want to calculate it, let's say this 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.2, 0 0.2, let's say this is probability. So what I do, x into p, and then I take the summation. So this is 0.5, 5 into 0.1, this will be 1, this is 1.5, this is 1, and this is also 1. Take the total, 1, 2, 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. So don't get confused. So ultimately if there is a constant number, I take the expected value, it will be same, constant. What will be the variance? Variance of this k is nothing but 0, because there is no deviation. Understand? 5 minus 5, x minus x bar, 0, the whole square, 0 into probability, 0. So variance is 0. If I have two distributions x and y, and I add the x plus y, I add the two distribution, and then I take the expected value, that is equals to expected value of individual distributions. Okay, this means what? I have two distribution x and y, two series is there. I calculated the mean for this, I calculated the mean, obviously I have the probability also, so I calculate the mean for this, I calculate the mean for this. Understood? And individually if I add, or if I take x plus y and then multiply with probability, means expected value of x plus y, I take the total of this, I take the total of this, all the data. Understood? Whatever it is, this x plus y, and that multiplied by probability will also be what? Same. Okay. If in case I multiply all the x values with the k, then obviously if you have the mean of the k, that will also get multiplied with k. Change in scale we are applying. I have the x, I have the x, I calculated the mean, it is E of x. If I multiply that with 5, okay, or other way around, all the data points of the x is multiplied with 5 and then I calculate the mean, it will be same. E of x into y means I am multiplying is equals to E of x into E of y, okay, when x and y are independent. Obviously the condition is what? When x and y are independent. Okay, let's, this is the basics. Let's go to the sums. So I have come to the questions. Okay, let's start. So whatever is left, okay, basics, that we will cover as we will progress in the chapter. Y is greater than or equals to x. When they say y is greater than or equals to x, now y is a series, means there are many datas. X has many datas, and they are saying every time now this y is greater, or it is equals to, greater than or it is equals to, understood? Then obviously the expected value of y, if you calculate the mean, okay, and obviously you will have probability also, expected value of y is greater than or equals to expected value of x. So try to calculate the mean by multiplying x into y into probability, mean of y, mean of x, then that mean of y will be greater than mean of x. Always remember, because y is greater than x. The other way to say, x is less than or equals to y, expected value of x is less than or equals to y. Therefore answer is what? D. Okay, it's x and y means it's not a single number, it's a distribution. Okay, two events A and B are said such that they do not occur simultaneously, then they are called dash events. They are mutually exclusive events. They are called mutually exclusive, which cannot happen together. Correct? According to Bayes theorem, this is not there. Okay, anyways, but still this is not there now. But anyways, in Bayes theorem, this all E1, E2, these are what? These are mutually, they are mutually exclusive. This E1, E2 are what? E1, E2 are mutually exclusive. Correct? So they are mutually exclusive. So E1, E2 are what? Mutually exclusive. E1, E2 are what? Mutually exclusive events. So A is the option. Okay. Anyways, it is not there, and this is the formula for the Bayes theorem. When you have the conditional probability, okay, at that time you use that. If a coin is tossed 5 times, then the probability of getting tail and head occur alternatively. Means 5 times you are tossing a coin. So alternatively means head, tail, head, tail, head, 5 times done. Or it can be tail, head, tail, head, tail, 5 times done. Understood? What is the probability, okay, of happening this? This is OR now. OR means what? Plus, and means multiplication, head and tail, head and tail, head means half into half into half into half. Correct? Whatever you get here, this will be 1 by 32. Same way here also you will get same. So that is also 1 by 32. 1 by 32 plus 1 by 32 is what? Correct now? Probability of getting head is what? Half. Probability of getting tail is what? Half. 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 Understood? Multiply, because and is there in between. Okay. So 1 by 32 means 2 by 32. So 1 by 16 is the answer. 1 by 16 is the answer. Option is B. Okay. When two dice are thrown simultaneously, then the probability of getting at least 1 5. At least 1 5 means what? 5 comma 1, 5 comma 2, 5 comma 3, 5 comma 4. Understood? 5 comma 5 or 5 comma 6. At least 5 means 1 comma 5 is also there, 2 comma 5 is also there, 3 comma 5 is also there. Understood? 4 comma 5 can also be there, 5 comma 5 can also be there. Can it be? No, it will be 5 comma 5 can't be there. Okay, at least 1 5 I want, so 6 comma 5 can also be there. Understood? How many outcomes are there? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So 11 is the number of happening the event, that is at least 1 5. Okay, so at least 1 5 means what? In the 2 throw, at least 1 5 should be there. Okay, so already I have taken here 5 comma 5. I will not take it again. 5 comma 5 and 5 comma 5 is same. Okay, so I will not take it again. So I have not taken it here. So 11 upon total sample space is 36. So answer is what? A, 11 by 36. Okay, 2 letters are chosen from the word home what is the probability that letter chosen are not vowels? 2 letters are chosen from the word home. Okay, what is the probability that letters chosen are not vowels? Vowels, how many vowels you have? O and E. Correct. How many alphabets you have? 4. Correct now. Total letters is 4. Vowels is 2. Vowels is 2. Consonants is 2. H and M. Total letter is 4. Correct. So what they want? They want to choose not vowels. What is the probability of not vowels? So I will not choose vowels, means I will choose what? Consonants. 2C2. Out of total consonants, I will choose all the 2 consonants, and out of 4, I will choose 2. So the probability is 2C2 upon 4C2. Okay. So 2C2 becomes how much? 2C2 is 1. 4C2 is 6. So this is the required probability, 1 by 6. How many consonants I have? 2. So out of 2 I am selecting 2 only consonants, not vowels, means I want to choose consonants. Total is 4. 4C2. Out of 4 I am choosing 2. If A, B, C are 3 mutually exclusive and exhaustive events such that probability of A is equals to twice probability of B is equals to thrice probability of C, then what is the probability of B? Understood? Now you should know that they are mutually exclusive. That means intersection is what? 0. Correct now? Mutually exhaustive means probability of A union B, understood, is what? Probability of A union B is equals to mutual exhaustive means the sample space needs to be 1. Intersection is not possible. Correct? So understand this. So ultimately probability of A plus probability of B plus probability of C should be what? Equals to 1. Okay. So ultimately this is the formula, because they are mutually exclusive. That means intersection is not there. Intersection is 0. If intersection would have been there, if they are not mutually exclusive, then I will minus probability of A intersection B, B intersection C, that will also be minus, A intersection C will also be minus. I will add A intersection B intersection C. Correct now? This would have been added. This would have been the formula, but this all intersections are what? 0. So ultimately mutually exclusive means probability of A plus B plus C is equals to what? 1. So what I can write? I can write A, I can substitute now. I can substitute. So how I will substitute? Understand? Now here probability of A is equals to, can be substituted twice probability of B. Okay, but probability of C can be substituted thrice probability of C is equals to twice probability of B. This is the relation, na? So probability of C is equals to 2 by 3 probability of B. Correct? 3 I have taken on other side. So here I can substitute twice probability of B. I will not write probability of B. Leave that. 2B plus, let it be B plus, this will be 2 by 3 B. Understood? I substituted this instead of C. I just have to take 3 that side. So it will be 2 by 3. It will be in terms of probability of B. Okay, so what I get here? This is equals to 1. So if I want to make it common, yeah, I'll multiply the throughout by 6, 3. Correct? So 6B plus 3B plus 2B upon 3. So is equals to 11. Sorry, it's equals to 11. 1. Sorry, I'm taking the total. 9 plus 3, 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. So 11B upon 3 is equals to 1. Therefore, B is equals to 3 by 11. What they are asking? Probability of B. B is what? 3 by 11. Answer is D. Understood? Simple. Okay. Pause and see if you are not understanding. Once more. What is the probability of getting 7 or 11 on the throws when 2 dice are thrown? Probability of getting, I think, let us correct the question. They are saying sum of 11. Okay, probability of getting sum of 7 or 11. Okay, not 7 or 11. 7 or 11 to can't get now when we throw the dice. Okay, they are talking about the sum. Understand that? Okay, so 7 and 11. So when I will get 7 and 11, 1 comma 6, 2 comma 5, 3 comma 4, 4 comma 3. Understood? Both will come. 5 comma 2, 6 comma 1. Right? So how many events are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I will get 6 events are there right now? 6 events are there. So here the total event is 6. When I will get 11, 11 I think I get 5 comma 6 and 6 comma 5. So this is 2 events. Correct? So either I should get this or this. So 6 plus 2 upon 36. So 8 upon 36. 8 upon 36. So what is the answer? Oh, it is not there. 8 upon 36 means 2 4s are 2, 1s are 8s are 2 2s are 2 9s are 2 by 9 is the answer. A is the option. 2 by 9. Okay, 2 by 9. So what I did, simple sum. That sum when it will be 7, correct? So these are the cases when it will be 7. There are 6 samples, 6 number of events of happening 7. Sum being 7. 6 times it can be 7. 2 times it can be 11. So 6 plus 2 is what? Or they said. So I have added it. So it is 6 plus 2. Or means plus. Okay. So I have added it. 6 plus 2 by 36. A log contain 15. I think a bag contains, not log. A bag contains 15 1 rupee coin, 25 2 rupee coin, and 10 5 rupee coin. If the coin is selected at a random, then what is the probability? If coin is selected at random, then probability for not selecting a 1 rupee coin is, means you don't have to select one, correct? Now how many coins we have total? 15 plus 25 plus 10, 40, I think 50 coins. In all, how many? 50 coins I have. Okay, I don't want to select 1 rupee coin. That means what I can select? 25 coins and 10 coins. So total comes to how much? 25 plus 10. Okay, either I will select that or this. Okay, either 2 rupee coin or 5 rupee coin. That divided by 50. So 35 divided by 50. So 35 divided by 50. Do it on a calculator. I think 5 1s are 7s are 0.7 should be the answer. What is the probability of occurring 4 or more accidents? Probability of occurring 4 or more accidents. First, easy sum. If you see correctly, the frequency, the frequency is in increasing order, right? Since in the question we want 4 or more accidents and it is more than cumulative frequency is given. How we came to know more than? It is in decreasing order. Frequency is in decreasing order. That means it is more than only given. I want 4 or more than. That means I will add all this above 4. I will add this. It is the total accidents which is 4 or more. Frequency of 4 or more. Okay. So 24 plus 27 plus 18 plus 9. So total 78 accidents are more than 4. So 78 is the answer. Easy. So here they should have given more than. Here they should have given more than word, but it is not given. When 2 dice are thrown, what is the probability? When 2 dice are thrown, what is the probability of getting the sum, which is a multiple of 3? Which is a multiple of 3. 2 dice are thrown. Multiple of 3 means what? The easiest way to solve is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how I will solve? I want 3. So 3 will be here somewhere 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. This can come. Understood? I am first going into the first row. 6 comma 1 is 7. 2 and 1 is 3. 2 2 4. 3 plus 2 5. 4 plus 2 is 6. So this can come. Understood? 5 comma 5 2 is 7. 6 and 2 is 8. It will not come. Please understand this. 3 and 1 is 4. This will not come. 3 and 2 is 5. Okay. 3 and 3 is what? 6. 4 and 3 is 7. 3 5 8. 6 and 3 is 9. This also will come. Like this you will have to mark. In every line there are 2. In every line there are 2. That means 2 2 2. That means 12 numbers will be there. Understand this. So what is the probability? 12 by 36. Total is 36 now. Correct now? See here. The total is what? 3. See here. 1 comma 5 is what? 6. The sum is 6. 2 comma 1. The total is 3. So you have to take 3, 6, 9, 12. Wherever the total is 3, 6, 9, 12, that you have to take. 4 comma 1 is 5. 2 comma is 6. This is 7, 8, 9. This will come. Correct? 10. Okay. 4 comma 5. This will also come. 6. Right now this will come. This will come. Every line has 2 this things. The sum where it is a multiple of 3. 2 numbers. Okay. So 6 lines are there. That means 12. So 12 by 36 is the answer. Slow down and do it. When 2 coins are tossed simultaneously, the probability of getting at least one tail. 2 coins are tossed. What is the sample space? H H H H T T H T H T. So toss. What is the at least one head? At least one means it can be one or more. So 3 by 4 is the answer. 0.75. At least one means more than one is also possible. When 3 dice are rolled simultaneously, the probability of a number, okay, on the third die is greater than the sum of the number on the 2 dice. Okay, 3 dice. 3 dice means how you will calculate the sample space. Total outcomes is 6. How many times you are throwing? 3. So 6 का cube is 216. 6 का cube is 216. Now what they are saying? They are saying the probability of a number, the third die, is greater than the sum of the other two numbers. Okay, so once you understand the sequence, it will be easy. Okay, you understand, either the 3 will be 1 now, but here what is happening, the initial, the sum of the 2, now this is 2 and this is 1, that is not acceptable. The third digit should be greater than the sum of the 2, so this is not possible. So what I will do is, see, either I will have, first I will keep 1 as constant, so 1, next is 1, okay, 1 plus 1 is 2, so I will take directly 3 here. This is one outcome. Plus first two numbers is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, so 2 is less than 3, possible. 1, 1, 1, 1 का series में 1, 1, 4 is possible. Understood? 1, 1, 5 is possible. 1, 1, 6 is possible. So I got 4 numbers. Now I will change the series 1, 2. So if it is 1, 2, first is constant 1. 1, 2 will be what? 1, 2, 1 plus 2 is 2, 3. So I can take 4. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 6. I got 3 numbers. 1, 3. Complete all the 1 ka series. First number should be 1. 1, 3. Okay. 4. So I will take 5. 1, 3, 6. This is 2. 1, 4. It is 5. So only one number will come. 1, 4, 6. Understood? Next I will start with 2. If first number is 2, second number is 1. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 se bada number is 4. So I will take 4. 2, 1 keeping constant, it can be 5. 2, 1, it can be 6. Understood? 4, 5, 6 all are greater than 2 plus 1, 3. Correct? So I will take that. Next, keeping 1 as constant, I will start with 2 ka series. Here also I got 3. Okay. So 2, 2, I can't take 1. Okay. 2 plus 2 is 4. So I will have to take 5. 2, 2, I can take 6. So here there is 2 numbers. Next, I will start with 3. Next, I will start with 2, 3. I will start with 2, 3 now. 2, 3. 5. So I will have to take 6. Once it comes to 6 now, this is done. Means see, here also I stop. Here also I stop. This is 1. I will start with 3. After 3 I can get 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So I will have to take bigger number than that. 3, 1, 6 is also bigger. So I will have to take 2. Taking first as constant 3, 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. So I will have to take 6. So here I got 1. So how many total numbers? 4, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Did I miss something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This the last part is missing. The 4. I can start with 4. After 4 I can have 1. Okay. So 4 and 1 is 5. So I can have 6. I can't have 4, 2 series. Why? 4 plus 2 is 6. Again if I take 6, that will be maximum, right? So I can't take that. So this is one more number. So total number is 20. So 20 divided by total sample space is 216. So answer is what? B. 20 divided by 216. Understood? If a class speaks 70, if a A speaks 75% of the truth, it is like that. If A speaks 75% of the truth, B speaks 80% of the truth, what is the percentage? Both of them likely contradict with each other. Likely contradict means what? Both are contradicted. Means either A is telling the truth and B is lying, or B is telling the truth, A is lying. That means A speaks the truth 75%, means A complement is how much? 25%. B speaks 80%. So B complement is how much? 20%. So A speaks the truth and B lies, or B speaks the truth and A lies. Easy. So A is how much? 0.75 into 0.20 plus this one. Okay. B is 0.8 here. Understood? Multiplied by 0.25. So check the answer. Okay. How much it is? So here I am getting 0.75 into 0.2 is equals to 0.15 plus 0.8 into 0.25 is equals to 0.2. So answer is 0.35. D is the answer. Understood? D is the answer. Okay. Fine. This is a pakka answer. Now let me check whether the answer is correct. No, answer is 0.45. Why you know? Because there is a mistake. This they have taken 60%. This they have taken 60%. So if you mark, take 60%, same pattern, same way to do, then the answer is D. Otherwise it is D. Okay. So please correct this. And for the event that subdivided into further event is called, with the event that is further divided into sub event is called what? Composite event. Okay. Further, when the events are subdivided, it is called composite event. Three identical and balanced dice are rolled. Okay, the probability that the same number appears on each of them. Now here you should understand, listen, sample space is 6 ka cube 216, right? 111, 222, 333, 444. How many? 6 times it can happen now. Same numbers, 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 666. So 6. So 6 divided by 6 cube is what? 1 by 6 square is what? 1 by 36. Answer is what? C. Okay. Next question. A basket contains 15 white balls, 25 red balls and 10 blue balls. So total balls is how much? Total is 40 plus 1 is 50. 50 balls we have, right? If a ball is selected at a random, I am going to select one ball. It is not a white ball. Easy. It's not a white ball. Don't take this. 25 plus 10 upon 50. Answer is what? 35 upon, correct now? 35 upon 50. Answer is what? 5 7s are 0.7. Same question what we did. Two dice are thrown simultaneously. The probability of total score of 5 from the outcome of the dice is that total should be 5. So when it will be 5? 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, 1. Okay, I think that's all right now. Correct. So 4 outcomes are there. 4 by 2 dice are thrown. What is the sample space? 6, 36. So 1, 4 1s are 4 9s are 1 by 9. Understood? 2 dice are thrown. What is the total score? 5. 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 4, 1. Total sample space is 36. If an unbiased coin is tossed twice, the probability of getting at least one tail. Again the same question. Understood? Head, tail, tail, head, tail, tail. At least one means 2 tail is allowed. So it is 3. Total sample space is what? 4. Correct? So answer is 0.75. 3 by 4. At least one tail. This is 3. Total is 4. So 3 by 4. If an unbiased coin is tossed 3 times, okay, what is the probability of getting more than one head? Okay, more than one head. You should understand, more than one head means you know how to make the sample space. 4 times head, 4 times tail, 2 times head, 2 times tail, head, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail. Getting more than one head. More than means obviously more than. This is more than, this is more than, this is more than, this is more than. Okay, so 4 chances are there. Answer is what? 4 by total sample space is 8. 1 by 2. A is the option. Simple question. If there are 48 marbles, okay, marked with 1 to 48, then the probability of selecting a marble having divisible by 4. So divisible by 4 means what? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Correct now? 4 9s are 36, 40, 44, 48. These are which can be picked. How many are there? Till 48 it is 12. No need to write also. 12 divided by 48. Answer is what? 1 by 4. Correct now? These are the markings. This I will select. Why? Because what I have to select? Probability of getting divisible by 4. So directly divide. 48 is total number. 48 divided by 4 is what? 12. So there are 12 likely numbers, marbles which can be selected. So 12 divided by 48. Answer is what? 1 by 4. A bag contains 7 blue balls and 5 green balls. Total is 10 plus 5, 12. One ball is drawn at a random. What is the probability of getting a blue ball? Simple question they are asking. What is the probability of getting blue ball? How many blue balls you have? 7. 7 by what? 12. Answer is what? C. The probability that a football team losing a match is 3 by 5. This is probability of losing. Winning a match at Bangalore is 6 by 7. Okay, at Kolkata they can lose at 3 by. What is the probability of a team winning at least one match? Understand? At least one match means what? What they have given? This is, let's say, probability of K complement. This is probability of B. Why B? Because it is winning. Okay. So what there are at least one. At least one means what? They are asking. They are asking. You remember I said 1 minus at least one match means let us minus when they lose both the matches. When they lose both the matches. This is B, not B bar. Okay, this is B. So what is my B bar? B bar will be 1 minus 6 by 7 is equals to 7 minus 6 is 1 by 7. Understood? So you remember what I said. You have to at least win one match. So find the probability, joint probability of losing both the matches and minus it by 1. So probability of loss in Kolkata into probability of loss in Bangalore. So 1 minus loss in Kolkata is 3 by 5 into 1 by 7. So 1 minus 3 ones are 3, 7 5s are 35. 35 minus 3 is 32 by 35. 32 by 35. Yes, it is there. This is the option. This is the easiest way. Understood? In a class of 60 students, I hope this is clear. Always whenever I want at least one match should be won, I will minus both the matches lost. 1 minus both the matches lost. What is the chance of losing both the matches? I'll get at least one match. Okay. This is how we did in the class also. If in a class 60% of the students study mathematics and science and 90% students study science. Okay, 60% of the students study mathematics and science. Okay, and 90% study science. Then the probability of students studying maths, given that he or she is already studying science is, what they are asking, let us say that probability of maths, okay, probability of science. So probability of science is how much? So they are saying 60% is maths and science. So that means probability of maths and science is 60%. This is what I have understood, 0.6. Okay. And the probability of studying science is 90%. So science is 0.9. Correct. Now what they are asking, probability of a student studying maths, given that he has studying maths, given that already she has studied what? Science. So formula is what? Probability of M intersection S upon this is in the denominator. So probability of S is equals to this I know 0.6. This also I know 0.9. So 0.6 divided by 0.9. Understood? 3 2s are 3s are 2 by 3. This 2 by 3. A biased coin is such that, okay, biased coin, it is not unbiased, that the probability of getting head is thrice the probability of tail. If a coin is tossed 4 times, what is the probability of getting a head all the time? What is the probability of getting head all the time? See, what is the success? Means getting a head, it is biased, so it is not half, it is biased. Head is thrice. Let's say the probability of success is thrice the probability of failure, getting thrice. Tail means failure. Why? Because I want head now, so this is my success P. So probability of getting head is thrice the probability of the tail. Tail means failure, so P is equals to 3Q. But we know that total probability should be how much? Total probability should be 1. So 3Q plus Q is equals to 1. That means Q is equals to 1 by 4. Right now that means P is equals to how much? 3 by 4. Easy. Understood? 3 by 4. So I know the probability of failure as well as success. If a coin is tossed 4 times, that means N is equals to 4. What is the probability of getting all the head? All the head means what? N is again 4. What is the probability of this formula for binomial distribution? NCR into P raised to R into Q raised to N minus R. So 4 is my N. I want the probability of getting all as 4, all heads. So my R is also, this is actually not R, this is X, not R. This is X, what we used to use in the classroom. X. 4C4 into P is what? 3 by 4 raised to 4. I am not writing this. 1 by 4 raised to 4 minus 4 is 1. This will give me the answer. 4C4 is what? 1. 3 raised to 4 is what? 81 into 81 upon 4 raised to 4 is what? 256. Understood? The answer is 81 by 256. 81 by 256. C is the option. 81 by 256. Understood? So what I did, this was unbiased. So there was a relationship given. Take it success as failure. Okay, success and failure. P is success, Q is failure. Okay, what is success? I want to get the head at all the time. So that is my P is equals to 3 times Q. But I know the total of the probability should be 1. So I will calculate the Q, okay, by substituting P as 3Q, okay, because I know P is 3Q. So I'll substitute 3Q plus Q is equals to 1. Q is how much? 1 by 4. So P is how much? 3 by 4. n is equals to 4. So total this thing, total what number of coin tossed is 4 times. All the times means 4 times it is head, so x will be 4. ncx into p raised to x into q raised to n minus x. If there are 16 phones, 10 of them are Android, 6 of them are Apple, then the probability of 4 randomly selected phones to indicate 2 Android and 2 Apple. Okay, so 16 phones are there, so I have 16 phones, 10 of them are Android, Android phones are 10, Apple phones are Apple phones are Android, Apple phones are 6. Okay, 4 randomly selected phones to include 2 Android and 2 Apple, means out of 10 I will select 2, out of 6 I will select 2. Understood? Multiply upon total is 16c, I will select 4. Understood? You'll have to calculate this. 10c2, I hope you know, 10 into 9 upon 1 into 2 into, next is 6 into 5 upon 1 into 2, the whole divided by 16 into 15 into 14 into 13 upon 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. This is how we solve, na? So 2 1s are 5s are, so it is 5 9s are 45 into 2 1s are 3s are, it is 15 upon 4 1s are 4 4s are, correct, 3 1s are 3 5s are, 2 1s are 2 7s are. Answer is what? 4 into 5 into 7 into 13. Okay, denominator is 1820. So 45 into 15 divided by 1820. Answer is what? 0.37. Obviously I will not keep on cancelling the things. Okay, the answer is easy. Okay, answer is 0.37. Let's solve this, the last sum. Okay, later you can do the other sums. If you have doubt, you can ask me. Okay, 0, the probability of 0 is 5k, 1 is 3k, 2 is 4k, 3 is 6k, 4 is 7k. So they have given the probability. We know that the sum of the probability should be 1. So I will add this, I will add all this. So calculate the answer. So 8 8 12 18, 18 plus 7 is 25, 25 plus 20 is 45, I think. So 45k is equals to 1. Okay, sum of the probability needs to be 1. So k is equals to how much? 1 by 45. Okay, so this I can calculate now. 5 by 45 into 1 by 45 is 1 by 9. Correct? This will be 3 divided by, so 1 by 15. This will be 4 by 45. Anyways, I think what is the best, you know what they are asking. Let us, they are asking, I didn't read the question. The value of the k. Okay, value of the k they are asking, so no need to do. This was 45k is equals to 1. Unnecessarily I was calculating. 1 by 45 is the answer. Okay, they can ask you the probability of 2. So what is the probability of 2? 2 into 1 by 45. So that is 2 by, sorry, 2 into not 2. What is the probability of this thing? So 4 into 1 by 45. 4 into 1 by 45. Probability of 2 they might ask. 1 minute. Let us go slow. Probability of 2 they might ask in the exam. Now they have asked this, so it is 1 by 45. So 4 into 1 by 45 will be the answer. Okay, in case if they ask the probability for 2, same way they can ask for any of the values. Understood? Easy. For any two independent events A and B, probability of A is given, probability of B is given. Okay, A and B is given, so probability easy. A by B is what? A by B is nothing but intersection of A and B. Intersection is what? 10 divided by 33. Okay, upon 10 divided by 33. I will write directly divide. Divide by, this is in the denominator now, so I will write 6 by 11. So 10 by 33 into 11 by 6. So 11 1s are, 11 3s are, 2 3s are, 2 5s are. So 5 by 9 is first answer. So 5 by 9 is here. So this same way you can calculate for B by A. Understood? 5 by 9. A is the option. So I will take intersection, that is 10 divided by 33 divided by probability of A is what? 5 by 9. Understood? Multiplicative inverse, 10 divided by 33 into 9 by what? 5. Okay, so 5 1s are, 2s are, 3 3s are, 3 11s are, 6 by 11. 6 by 11. See? Understood? Easy. Okay. So I think this is more than enough. Okay, I think other things can be managed. Fine. So just find, if you have any problem, let me know. Okay, we'll stop here.